People. Que pasa, suck, say what they do. Welcome to Crime Time News, where the difference is in the meds. Call it news with a buzz. The first thing that is popping in the news, it is called warning. Take heed. You sleep and mark DEATH. And I mean this literally. We've heard the JCF on several occasions put out warning to all sorts of wanted men, most wanted men, they call them. Them say, turn in yourself. If you do not turn in yourself, you are going to turn in your health. You're going to turn up DEAD. And people, that applies appropriately to Mr. Bigger Crime. I am speaking about a man that has been on the JCF's most wanted list for in excess of 2 years. However, people, in a place called Clarendon, they caught him slipping. They caught him slipping literally, and they sent him sleeping to the afterlife. There are pictures out there with him laying down, looking very peacefully. DEATH, rest in peace by default. There are wanted pictures before and after. There are pictures of the BLOODYSHEET that he was laying on when he met his demise, with what seems to be some sorts of 9 or 4/5 laying next to the BODY. I am going to let you take a listen, take a look to what the Assistant Deputy Commissioner of Mr. Fitzbailey has to say, is confirmation, and then I'll give my piece.
I wish to confirm to the Jamaican people that Nestor Morrison, OC Bigger Crime, of 11 miles Bull Bay, which is the border of St. Thomas, was fatally shot during an intelligence-led operation by the security forces in Longville Park, Clarendon. Bigger Crime has been on the police most wanted list for over 2 years, and despite many requests from the police for him to turn himself in, he actually did not, and several operations were mounted against him that were unsuccessful. Bigger Crime rained terror on the citizens within the 11-mile Bull Bay areas and its environment, killing and maiming several people. I think it's a victory for the people of those communities, and it's a great relief that he can no longer perpetrate those acts of violence against them.
Now, people, you hear what the DCP had to say, Mr. Fitzbailey. Bigger Crime, he is from 9 miles Bull Bay. However, it is called long run, short catch. So therefore, he is from 11 miles. Now he is going to get a 9 night coming up soon. He lost his life in a confrontation with the Popo. People, it is the regular script. Whenever there's any sorts of confrontation with the Popo and gunmen, the gunmen are usually on the SHITTY end of the stick. He has been running, he has been hiding for in excess of 2 years. However, he would meet his demise like most criminals. Long run, short catch. Sooner or later, you will have to pay the piper. If we remember, in a late last year, they did some sorts of operation in 11 miles Bull Bay. However, in Tekwe himself, they found 3 fire pieces. They found in excess of 100 rounds of ammunition. They also found some US, some Canadian, and all sorts of lottery scamming, extortion, paraphernalia. Now, for all of you knuckleheads, wannabe wanksters out there, that don't want to take heed. There's a reason why the Popo, the JCF, do these news release. It is because they want to send a very clear message. Take heed. All who can hear them are go feel. A hard ears make for a soft ASS. So therefore, if you challenge the Popo, you are going to end up with your body being very cold, being very numb. You are going to end up destination doom. If you're lucky, you get locked up. More than likely, you are going to end up in the graveyard. And if you've been following these cases, these operations that were launched to find this man, every time the Popo were unsuccessful, they were PISSED off. They were ticked off. They knew within themselves, don't give up hope. Sooner or later, the law of possibility and probability was going to run against Mr. Bigger Crime and people. So said, so done. At the end of the day, the people them in 11 miles Bull Bay, they are quiet, they are mum. However, they are rejoicing deep within because this man created all sorts of chaos and catastrophe. So therefore, they are breathing a sense of relief right now. But like the popular saying goes, if you live by the GUN, so shall you also DIE by that same thing. And people, it appropriately applies as it pertains to Mr. Bigger Crime. Crime spree, crime done. Point blank and period. Now the next part of the video is called giving praises, giving credit to the JCF, giving them milk and then turn around and kicking over the buckets. You will understand what I mean further on in this news. The DCP, Deputy Commissioner of Popo, Fitz Bailey, it seems as if he is delusional. It seems as if he is telling the people of Jamaica half-truth at best. We know that we are desperate and we want some sorts of good news, some sorts of results. In a news conference that he did the other day, he said that the clear-up rate for takeaway in Jamaica is about 48%, close to 50%, which is good if we compare them to first world top crime fighting countries' results. He said that they cleared up over 725 takeaway last year. He said that his investigators, their detectives, they are getting better. They are putting in the work. So therefore, the work is yielding results. The results are on par or even better than that of first world country. Clear up rate, people, is different from conviction rates, and people, I will explain further on in the news.
We continue to be overwhelmed with significant amount of cases, but the capacity is improving in terms of the training that the detectives are exposed to, and so we are getting better quality investigation. Last year alone, we cleared up 725, somewhere about that, murder cases, which is about 48%. If you look at the global figure, we are competitive to any first world and doing much better in terms of our clear work. In terms of a nominal figure and even percentage. If you do your own research, you will see it in some of the first world country. Our clear rate is basically similar or even greater.
So people, let me psychoanalyze what Mr. Bailey has to say, and then I'll pick sense out of nonsense. There's a thing that is called justice delayed is justice denied. When we look at the record of Jamaica and the judicial system, especially when it pertains to serious crime, we see that it is taking 5, 6, 7 years to clear up any sorts of takeaway case, if it is cleared up any at all. There's also a show that is on cable. It is called 48 Hours. What that show tells you, and this is what crime fighters worldwide would say, after the first 48 hours of a crime being committed, the chances are way, way less if that crime is not solved, if there's no sorts of suspect. When we look at Jamaica and we look at the Jamaican culture versus first world culture, meaning United States, places like those, we see people think that it is their civic duty to tell the poor, assist the poor, SNITCH, give information. However, in Jamaica, that policy is different. People don't talk because they are scared. They don't trust the poor, and even if they go into any sorts of witness protection program, they are afraid that the poor might sell them out. Now, people, here is a difference between clear-up rates and conviction rates. Mr. Bailey said that they have a 48% clear-up rate. However, based on statistics and surveys that are done, you could see, or you will know, the vast difference, what both means. When the DCP say clear-up rates, he mean a conclusion. Is it a good conclusion? What percent of that 48% is actually people going to trial and then the prosecution gets a conviction? What is the percent of that percent of the people pleading out? What is the percent of the case being thrown out because of lack of evidence, because of some sorts of technicality? What is the percent of people actually getting convicted versus actually getting free, meaning bust the case by whichever means necessary? There is a big difference. So when you hear the DCP speaking about clear-up rates, it does not mean that it is a good thing. Yes, the victims, the family of the victims, want some sorts of conclusion to their case. However, they want that conclusion to be at the benefits of the victims, not the benefit of the suspect or the MVRD3RS. Because the truth and the fact is that out of that 48% of clear-up rates, maybe about 75% of that 48% is either some sorts of acquittal, some sorts of bust the case, lack of evidence, technicality. So therefore, them walk free. When we talk about the feds, for example, they have a 97% conviction. That is not a clear-up rate. We can assume that the clear-up rate is about 99.999. Not facts. However, if the conviction is 97, we can assume that the clear-up, meaning the people them were beat it, people them were beat it upon some sorts of technicality. So people, me just say, obviously we see what is going on in the street. It is being displayed. These people, the criminals in Jamaica, have no fear for the justice system. They do what they do because they know that the possibility or the probability of getting caught, or even worse, getting convicted, is minimal. That is why we have such a high rate of MVRDER in Jamaica. So therefore, for the DCP, one of the top men in crime fighting, to say something like that, it is at best 1/10 of truth. Yes, it clear up. However, it is not favorable results. Point blank and period. Thanks once again for checking out my video. I understand that this might be your grandma's favorite YouTube channel. However, this is not the typical run-of-the-mill mama and papa channel. This is called News with a Buzz. If you appreciate videos like this, please show your appreciation by liking, commenting, and sharing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. Bless up.